The people who post consistently on social media every single day aren't actually better than you or more disciplined than you. They just know some things that you don't. Hi, my name is Naila. I'm a social media specialist with a 100% job success score on Upwork, and I have a top rated plus badge for my social media strategy services. If you're new here, I make videos about how to grow your business and your audience. And today we're answering the very hard and difficult question, how does one stay consistent on social media? And how do they do that without burning out? And I, for one, a six-figure business owner, a mom, a wife, a freelancer, staying consistent and posting regularly on my social media platforms was something I myself found to be quite a challenge. And that was until I came up with a game-changing and foolproof plan that has helped me not only stay consistent, but grow my following to over 100,000 across Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And as a result of this, I have new clients every single day in my DMs, I've landed some major brand deals, and I've become monetized on YouTube and TikTok. The opportunities that have come my way have been endless. So if I can do it, then you can definitely do it. The method that I like to use to stay consistent is one that I kind of stole from an entrepreneur on TikTok called Latinapreneur, who divides her content into 3 types. The first type is called It's Over For You. The second is I Can Do Lip Gloss. And the third is I Can't Get Out of Bed. These separate types of content is basically the level of effort that is required from you to make each type. And if you use each level properly and create the system I'm about to teach you, you will have content to post every single day and even multiple times a day without feeling like it's just getting too much. Starting with the first one, It's Over For You. This is the type of content that you are very proud of and is going to be the main body of your content calendar. And this is the type of content that we create in advance. For this type of content, I plan in batches of around 15 pieces for the entire month. So I will sit down one day of the month, only one day, bring all of my ideas together that I've been collecting during the previous month. So this could be things like ideas that have come randomly to my head that I open my notes app on and I quickly jot the idea down. The ideas that have come to me when I've been inspired by other people's content that I save in my Instagram saved folder. I also go through my long form content here on YouTube, and then I take segments of scripts which I can turn into short form talking head videos. And then what I do, just one day of the month, and it's not even a full day, it's about 3 to 4 hours, I'll sit at my desk and I'll open my content planner and I'll start mapping out all these ideas I've collected over time, one by one. In this time, I'll decide the format it's going to be in. So is it going to be a carousel? Is it going to be a talking head? Is it going to be a short 7-second reel with some text? I'll also decide what sound I'm going to use. So am I going to use a trending music in the background? Am I not? I'll also add where I got my inspiration from so that I can always refer back to it when I'm filming. I'll write the scripts or the text that's going to be overlaid on the video. I'll write my caption and I'll choose my hashtags. I will do this for all 15 posts in one sitting. Once it's done, I will go ahead and move that content from scripting into needs recording. By the way, this content planner that I use, you can find it in the link in my description. It's something I've designed and created myself just to help me streamline my content creation process and just make everything as simple and as clear as possible. Most of the time when I'm planning this type of content, it doesn't take me long at all. And the reason it doesn't take long is because every single day when I'm scrolling on TikTok, on Instagram, or when I'm going about my day, I am constantly always noting down my ideas. So that when it comes to actually sitting down and planning and turning those ideas into content, I already have all the ideas down. It's just now about turning those ideas into reality. Next, you want to think about batch filming this content. Now, before you think that batch filming is too hard or too difficult and you're thinking, I've tried batching before and it just wasn't for me, because I know a lot of people do think that and they find it really hard to film loads of content ideas in one go. You really need to rethink the way that you see batching. Just because you've tried batching your entire month's content in one day and it didn't work, doesn't mean that you need to completely throw the idea of batching out of the window. I have batch filmed my content in so many different ways. Sometimes when I'm in the mood and I'm super hyped, I'll be able to batch an entire month's worth of content in one single day. But more often than not, I am not in the mood to film or create 15 pieces of content in one day, and I will spread it out. Sometimes I'll split it across 3 days where I'll batch film 1 hour every single day for 3 days. You really need to just see what works for you when it comes to batch filming. As long as you can get 15 posts filmed and edited 1 month in advance, you are good to go. And honestly, even if it means to stop posting or post very minimally for 1 month, just so you can get ahead, then just do that. Because there's honestly no better feeling than being 1 month ahead of your social media schedule. I would say it probably takes around 2 to 3, if I'm pushing it, full days of the entire month to plan, film, and edit 15 pieces of content for an entire month. Which, when you think about it, it's not really that much, and you can spread this out and do it over a few days. And what I do when those 15 pieces of content are completed, I will go ahead and schedule them to auto post. So now I know what days I'm covered for and the days I don't really need to be thinking about content at all. The second type of content that I like to create is called I can only do lip gloss. These are for the days that you're looking kind of like semi-decent, you feel alright, and you're kind of in the mood to create some content, but you don't want to make it a whole thing. Maybe you've been out for dinner with your friends, you've dressed up to go to town, and you know that there is potential for content today, but you're just not sure what. These are the days that you want to do these things. This is your opportunity to make natural talking head style videos replying to comments that you receive on TikTok and on Instagram. One of the best things about replying to comments is that the idea is already there in the comment. You literally just need to share your thoughts. It's a very low effort type of content. It's something that you can film, put it in your drafts, and edit later on. Another strategy that I like to use is called one for now, one for later. So you know when you cook a meal and you put over the leftovers or a tub, and you fill that tub and then you go and put that in the freezer for a rainy day when you don't feel like cooking. If you were to do this every single time you cook, very, very quickly you will have tubs and tubs of food in the freezer for those rainy days where you don't feel like cooking. I like to use my I only can do lip gloss days for this type of content. I'll record, maybe instead of just one content piece, I will record 2 pieces, put them in my drafts, and I will post one today and save one for those days I don't feel like filming. For these I can only do lip gloss types of days, I also like to think ahead of what am I going to do today that I can turn into content. For example, today is Tuesday. I know that later on today I'm going to have to go and do some grocery shopping. That's a video right there. You can create a shopping video. Today I also know that I'm going to have to restock my fridge, so there's another video. I also have to cook dinner tonight, so maybe I can do a plate up dinner with me video where I talk about X, Y, and Z while I'm plating up dinner. I also need to go buy a new jacket. That could be a video. I also need to go do some work in my office and answer some emails. That could literally be a video. Everything you do in your day can literally be content. Believe me when I say that nothing is boring. Everybody's nosy. We all want to know what is going on in your life. Even if you don't know what you're going to do with the footage, film it now and think about that later. It kind of just gets to a point where I don't know what to post can't become an excuse anymore, because you'll be really surprised how all these content pieces just add up. Like literally the other day I put up lights for Ramadan and I thought, okay, let me just film the entire thing and then I'll think about what I want to do with that footage later. I know that I have footage of me putting up Ramadan lights. I didn't know what I was going to do with that footage, but today or tomorrow night, I will sit down, look at that footage, and then come up with the idea of how I want to edit it and how I want to post it. When you do this type of content, you'll realize how quickly things stack up, and you'll be able to go days and days and possibly even weeks without even filming anything, because you already have those 15 pieces that you did plan and strategize for that are already scheduled, and now you have stacks and stacks of content in your drafts ready to be edited and turned into amazing content pieces. Next, for the last content type, we have I can't get out of bed content. And this is the lowest effort content that literally does not require you to leave your bed. These are for the days that you have no content scheduled, you have no I can only do lip gloss type of content. I'm talking using pre-recorded B-roll, adding some text and a trending sound. I'm talking gathering photos of your week and creating a photo dump, or using random photos that you already have in your gallery and creating a carousel with text on top, relating it back to your niche. Or you could even just put a bunch of B-roll clips together and then record a voiceover. I have an entire folder in my camera roll called B-roll. that I literally just go ahead and grab footage from on those I can't get out of bed days. Also, I want you to get really comfortable with repeating yourself. So many people don't want to repeat themselves or to repeat an idea, but repeating an idea is actually what builds your brand. So if you made a talking head video where you went into a certain type of topic and you talked about a certain type of thing and that video did really well, I want you to really think about how you can repeat yourself in different formats and styles of content. How can you turn that into a text on screen trend? How can you turn that into a carousel? How can you make that video again but in a slightly different style? I have repeated myself so many times in so many different ways on topics that have already worked successfully for me. And guys, even reposting the exact same content is okay. But save this one for the really bad days where you literally have nothing to post. And make sure it's content that is at least 3 months old so your audience has either forgotten about it or it's mainly your new audience that is going to see it. I posted this video of my husband trying a mango for the first time in 2023 and on TikTok, and it did really well. I think it got around 800,000 views. This post generated me, I think, around 2,500 new followers. In 2025, in January, on one of those I can't get out of bed days, I reposted that exact same video. The second time round, it generated me around 500,000 views and 700 new followers. Having a repost strategy is a really good way to keep the flow going and to keep your account growing without actually putting in any extra effort. Before I end off this video, I want to remind you that consistency doesn't guarantee you're going to be successful, but not being consistent will guarantee that you will not reach success. You don't need to have perfect conditions to start, just start. Confront the job and just do it, and once you get on a roll, the content will start compounding over time and it will get easier and easier, I promise you. And with that, I will see you next week if you're subscribed.